Hi, I'm Naomi Rose, and I'm speaking for Life, the Basic Manual. This is a follow-up to the first video where I was talking about how I came to do Tibetan wisdom tales for children. So, what happened at the last part of the last video is a lightning bolt hit me when Lama Surya asked me to take the Tibetan wisdom tales that had been told in the oral tradition for hundreds and hundreds of years and write them down and illustrate them and create a children's book to pass this beautiful wisdom on to the children in the West. And when he told me that, I was thrilled. I had finally found everything came together. I was ready to go. To my surprise, it took 10 more years before the book would be published, before it was created and published. I thought, okay, I'm on. Everything's working now, right? Synchronicity, it's all going just fine. But I learned very quickly, this was going to take me on a journey of personal awareness, personal growth. I had anything that's called outside myself was going to call something inside. And so I went on that journey. What happened next was I started to play around with doing some children's books, children's stories, tried them out with Lama Surya, and I used some skills from the art school that I spoke about in the first video, and I started to create some ideas. Lama Surya gave me some feedback, and I played around with it for probably about a year, and then I put it aside. There wasn't that much energy left for it, and I didn't know what to do after that. So I had put it aside, spent time on some other important projects, graduated from art school, and in that process I met a man at a party who happened to be a children's book author. And he wanted to see what I was up to, because I told him about this idea that had happened a few years before that. So he showed him what I had done. He loved it. He connected me to his agent who loved it, and the agent wanted to represent me. I'm like, okay, I'm on. This is it. This is really going to happen. No, it took another 8 years because all sorts of other processes and journeys needed to take place. As I was doing all this, I was going deeper and deeper into Tibetan wisdom. And part of my prayer work and part of my writing was to figure out how to take this esoteric wisdom of Tibet, powerful Tibetan wisdom, and make it available to children, understandable to children in the West. And that was a distilling process that took years. And looking back on it now, I needed all those years to get it just right. The other thing is that I had no idea how to write for children. And so I thought I had it down, and I showed it to someone who writes for children, and they said, you don't. So I started to study the art of writing and illustrating for children. I joined an organization, I joined critique groups, and I'd say probably the first story in the first book took probably 20 major revisions over many years as I was using prayer work and skills and meditation. And I have to say that I really felt that there were helpers. There were helpers from Tibet. Padma Sambhava came through, Tara came through, these amazing enlightened beings. I could feel them asking me to do this book and supporting me in it. What was so confusing was, why wasn't it getting published? Why was I getting rejection after rejection? I ended up going through 4 agents. It was heart-wrenching. And I would sometimes just be on the floor, just so discouraged. But then I would sit in my altar, and I'd see in my heart it was still true. This was what I was going to keep going for. And I'll talk about what happened next in the next video.